Carrington. It's dunked by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to this season finale of the All-Star Intermission Series sponsored by Team Goon Squad. Today, we're at the Wild West Motorsports Park, and we're going to take some big old heavy machines and talented drivers to brave and new places. That's right, we're running dirt street stocks here at the motocross track for our fun series, kind of a intermission for our pro and pro-am street stock racers coming out here having a bunch of fun racing for some cool homegrown prizes and just seeing what they can do. I'm your host, James East, bringing you the action 1080p 60 frames a second. As qualifying comes to an end, we've got 5 drivers making their way out. Alex Penn, Gareth McAllister, James Silvers, Tyler Millette, and Matt Baer all coming out here tonight to put on a show for our viewers at home. Thank you all so much for tuning in as we get ready for the first heat race of the night. And this is going to be absolutely spectacular. Let's take a look at the grid. It's going to be Alex Penn, the road racing phenomenon, starting on pole. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, starting second. James SoundCloud Silver starts third. Tyler Millette starting fourth. And Matt Baer in the 919 machine will round out the grid here today. As we get ready for our formation lap, we're going to follow that iRacing pacing car, the iRacing sedan, around the track here at Wild West Motorsports Park. And let's watch this. Watch that iRacing sedan come up to the jump. Going to show our drivers the right way to do it. He is on the gas, and the pace car is absolutely sending it into turn 1. Have you ever seen such a thing? Gareth McAllister, Alex Penn up front. Right now it's McAllister in the lead. Penn right behind him. And the vanilla-backed number 3 street stock machine. And we've got big contact over the hill. Alex Penn, Gareth McAllister both involved. The 2 points leaders for the Intermission Series. James SoundCloud Silvers takes over the lead here. And Tyler Millette spins it. Alex Penn uses him as a bumper. Now Alex Penn and McAllister are tied coming into tonight here at Wild West Motorsports Park. But nobody expected the amateur rapper SoundCloud Silvers to come out to an early lead. Absolutely hucking it in that number 21 machine. As it stands, it's Silvers, Baer, Penn, Millette, McAllister. Your current running order. And watch this. We're about to see somebody air it out over the big jump. Silvers sends it. Tyler Millette also doing the same. What a wild night as McAllister sends the anime back number 25 over the jump. Tags the outside wall, holds on to it. Matt Baer returned back to pit road. He has some sort of problems. We check back in on Penn. Silvers is running out front. Now, if Silvers can win both races tonight, he may be the overall champion of the All-Star Intermission Series. Matt Baer takes the tow back to pit road in the 919 machine. And now let's see if Penn can whittle away at that 1.5 second gap of SoundCloud Silvers out front as he has Tyler Millette close in tail. Less than a second separates the two. Silvers trying to hold on to it out front as Penn throws it in deep in turn 1. He is right on the back bumper of Silvers as they come down the hill into the short set of whoops into the right-hander. Silvers, he has not been happy with this right turn. Pretty much the only right turn on the circuit here today. And he's going to have a whole lot of company from Alex Penn. Hits him with his fly job up the inside line. Alex Penn takes over the lead. Silvers trying to answer as they get close to side by side. through a short series of jumps, a final staccato jump as they try and get those machines slowed down into the left-hander. Down the hill to the start-finish line straight. Silvers takes over the lead. Penn looks to the outside line. And we're about to have some great side-by-side racing here. As they go over the jump in tandem, both drivers taking a look over out the window to see where the other is. Silver slides up on the inside of Penn. Penn is going to answer to the inside of Silvers, helping to straighten out the number 21 machine. Charging down the hill in more side-by-side action. It's Silvers with a car link. Heading into the right-hander, but again, Silvers has been absolutely not loving the right-hander, but starting to get it figured out here as the track really coming together, starting to get a little bit drier for these guys and allowing them to put down faster lap times. Tyler Millette still at about 2.5 seconds off this battle for the lead as Silvers and Penn have been side-by-side for the last couple laps in this first heat race of the night. Silvers on the inside line, Penland looking for a way through, maybe trying to carry just a little bit more momentum down the hill. But it'll be Silvers leading us to the start-finish line. The white flag will soon fly for SoundCloud Silvers number 21, being chased by Alex Penn, the road racing phenomenon, as they both air it out. Ooh, look at that. Silvers getting dangerously close to the outside line, and Penn gets in the back of Silvers. Spinning the number 3 around. He's going to throw away a big chance at a win here as Silvers extends his lead to about 2.5 seconds, and now Tyler Millette is in the picture coming down the hill. He's looking to get a second-place finish. But what's this? SoundCloud Silvers out front has problems. That's going to allow Penn to gain some more time. As McAllister, I believe, had another bobble. What a wild night. Silver's going to lead the field around the back half of the track for the final time in the opening heat race. And barring any bit of misfortune, SoundCloud Silvers is going to win the first heat race of the night, the Intermission Series here at Wild West Motorsports Park. What a wild night it is. Silvers picks up the first win. Alex Penn second. Gareth McAllister takes over third after Tyler Millette had a bobble. And the drivers are going to enjoy a nice cool-down lap together. Waving to the fans in attendance here today, both in person and virtually. Silvers living in the moment here, picking up the win. Now we will have a very brief warm-up session before the main event here today. If that heat race is any indicator of what's going to happen, then we are looking good for quite a wild show here today as we pull up the results for our viewers here at home during this 1-minute warm-up. It was Silvers, Penn, McAllister, and Millette, as well as Matt Baer rolling out the top 5. SoundCloud Silvers has to be pumped. So as we are running a very brief 1-minute session to get the drivers warmed up and get comfortable back out on track. As everybody enjoying the warm-up, taking this opportunity to crash their cars in new and exciting ways. A beautiful day here at Wild West Motorsports Park. Not a tree to be seen in the background. We've got Kevin Webb, Jason Gardner here tuning on. Kevin Webb cheering on for Tyler Millette in the Cannabis back number 27 machine. As I believe our warm-up has ended, it is time to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. Starting on pole, SoundCloud Silvers number 21 machine. Starting second, Alex Penn, the road racing phenomenon. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, starting third. Tyler Millette in the Cannabis back number 27 starting fourth. Matt Baer in the Rolling Thunder Racing 919 machine will be fifth on the grid here today. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the main event, a 15-lap main event. As we're going to try and get a camera focused because that pace car probably has the air of the day. I've never seen an iRacing sedan launched so hard. But watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on that pace car. Because that driver, whatever he's getting paid, it is not enough as he is absolutely hucking it here. Watch, the pace car gets on the gas. jumps over the first set, and then just sails to orbit before coming down pit road. Here we go. The season finale of the All-Star Intermission as Penn and Silvers are side by side in turn one. McAllister looks up the inside line. It'll be Penn. No, it'll be Silvers coming down the hill, and right behind him, they're 3 wide with McAllister, Penn, and Bear. Who's it going to be into the one right-hander? McAllister gets a love tap from Bear, and Bears return the favor from Tyler Millette. Absolute carnage and heartbreak here. That's going to allow Silvers to get an early lead as Penn, McAllister, and Millette battle hard behind. But Matt Bear is not out of it yet, ladies and gentlemen, as he is right on the back bumper of that number 27 Cannabos-backed race machine. We've got Joseph Penn, Mad Lad, and the rest of the Minecraft crew tuning in here tonight to watch the Thunderdome. That is the All-Star Intermission. And look at this, it's the battle for the lead. SoundCloud Silvers and the road racing phenomenon Alex Penn. They're going to be side by side coming down the hill, but it looks like Silvers may have had a little bit of problems as Penn takes over the race lead. Everybody been doing a fantastic job so far. A highly entertaining race for our fans at home. Chaotic, the Mad Lad cheering on Simverse back driver Alex Penn, the number 3 machine. As you go on board with Alex Penn, number 3 machine, he's going to show us what it's like to air out the street stock machine. Just sending it, number 3. SoundCloud Silvers has returned to pit road. He's got big problems. That's allowing Matt Bear, the 919 machine, to take over second. He's got a comfortable 5-second gap over Tyler Millette. As right now it is the Alex Penn show. Where's Gareth McAllister? He was tied for points with the road racer of Alex Penn. Now you may be asking yourself, how come these guys aren't absolutely destroying their machinery here today? For this special series, we do have damage turned off, so drivers can actually briefly crash the cars and then get it fixed back up. As now we're going to watch Matt Bear, the 919 machine, take it down the hill into the absolute massive start-finish line jump. These machines just absolutely not built for this, but my oh my is it fun to watch. As we check in with Tyler Millette, number 27 machine, he comes off the big booter at the start-finish line straight, trying to get the car woed up for that very sharp left-hander before going down the hill. That's probably one of the most important corners here at Wild West Motorsports, as it really dictates how much drive and speed you carry down the hill. And now that's going to be Matt Bear with a big bobble. And then no, Millette does the same thing, just hucks it in a little bit too much. Rides the wall, rides the lightning, but holds on to it. Silvers gets back out of pit road. I'm almost wondering if he got punched off track and it reset him back to pit road. And no, Silvers returns back to pit road once more. He's got problems in the SoundCloud back number 21 machine. And now we're checking in on Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, and the anime back number 25. Having a pretty good run here today, all things considered. Has worked his way back up to 4th through attrition. He's about 3 seconds off the back bumper of Tyler Millette, as you see him take a wider turn in turn 1, trying to look for a little bit of moisture in the track. But a lot of fun watching these drivers out here today in this intermission series. Again, a for fun series for the guys to come back, let their hair loose, and just have a lot of fun, absolutely sending it and put on a show for our viewers at home. And now we're watching to see if McAllister catches up to Tyler Millette. It's still about a 2.5-second gap between the two drivers. That is probably the closest battle on track we have right now with 10 laps left to go. Man, oh man, these machines not made for jumps. As so far this season, they've taken these dirt street stocks to the Phoenix Rally Course, to Road Atlanta Short, and now to cap it all off, Wild West Motorsports Park. As McAllister just trying everything in his power to catch up to Tyler Millette and squeeze a little bit more points out, because he knows if Alex Penn can win this uncontested, Penn will wrap up the season as your champion. Checking back in with Tyler Millette, number 27 machine, you can see how much time McAllister, the Australian, seems to have gained, but it looks like Millette really gained some time there in the final couple of corners and gets a whole lot of momentum down the hill to that massive start-finish line straight. Alex Penn had showed as a crash, maybe just from a hard impact, as your race leader with 9 laps left to go is leading by a country mile. He's got a 10-second lap advantage, a 10-second advantage over Matt Baer in the 919. Oh, but a big bobble in the final section may cost Penn a little bit of time here. Let's see if Baer can capitalize. As the course starts to get burned in, you'll see drivers alternating their line as Penn does in turn 1, trying to get some of those tires into the more moist section of the track. Once this track starts drying up and getting worn in, it gets dry slick. So very shiny and very slippery for these guys to make their way around on, as they are on equal setups here today. Everybody running the exact same setup. This is definitely a driver's championship. Seeing what you can do with the situation you have. Oh no, McAllister in the number 25 has problems in turn 1. Matt Baer has problems in the right-hander. Here comes Tyler Millette. Gonna try and capitalize on that number 27 machine. He's now within striking distance of Baer to bring home a second. As you can see how close the gap is. Millette, again, that Cannaboss back, number 27. Trying his best to reel in Matt Baer, as it looks like the gap is going to be about a second going down the hill. Massive error from Tyler Millette, number 27 machine. No worries or any regard for personal safety. Just absolutely hucking it, that number 27 machine. It looks like Baer was able to extend that gap another 3/4 of a second, back up to 2 seconds, but this right-hander has been chewing people up and getting both Matt Baer and Tyler Millette in the same section. Both drivers losing their rear end there, and now it is the tightest it has been. Less than 1 second separates Baer and Tyler Millette in the battle for second. 7 laps left to go here. The battle for second is about to get heated up, as this has been the closest it has been in about 6 or 7 laps, 9 laps. Both drivers absolutely hucking it into turn 1, looking for a little bit of grippy surface there. That inside line is really slicked out, and Baer will still lead Millette by about 1.2 seconds down the hill. But again, keep an eye on this right-hander, as that's what's been just really hurting some drivers here today. Both Baer and Millette get through clean that time by. McAllister seems to be catching back up to this pair as well. If they start battling too hard, the Australian does have a chance of a podium. Matt Baer getting a little bit of loose in turn 1. Millette trying to capitalize to get that momentum going down the hill. We've seen this battle as tight as 3/4 of a second and as far apart as about 3 seconds. As I've got to say, that might be one of the funniest views I've ever seen broadcasting. These street stock racers hucking it over that start-finish line jump. These race machines have absolutely no business out here, but man, is it fun to watch. And look at this, here comes McAllister, has closed the gap to himself and Tyler Millette. to 5 seconds and closing fast. That last time by, McAllister was almost 2 seconds a lap faster than Millette. Really coming to grips as the track slicks off, feeling a little bit more comfortable out here in that anime back to number 25 machine, but he does not have many more laps to try and make something happen, as it is 4 laps left to go and about a 4-second gap to make up. It'll be really, really close to see if the Australian can catch up to Millette in these closing laps. Matt Baer has extended his gap to Millette to about 3.85 seconds, airing it out in that number 919 machine, really slowing it up to square that corner off. As you can see, the front left tire of Matt Baer, all sorts of bouncing around. This car just not really meant for big jumps, but we're doing the best with what we've given the drivers because we knew it was going to be an entertaining night here tonight. Alex Penn, still your race leader. He's got about a 16-second gap over Baer. And no, McAllister had a big problem in that number 25 machine. He is falling about 14 seconds back from Millette. Let's see what happened to McAllister. Maybe going into turn 1 here. Yeah, just sends it sliding around. And comes... Well, that's not the way around turn 1. McAllister tried to make it happen, not quite able to do so. Alex Penn, your race leader, that number 3, with absolutely no effort up the paint, leading the charge, 18 seconds ahead of the pack here today. Now, Alex Penn, a real-life car racer, said he wasn't quite expecting the excitement of the All-Star Intermission Series, but was glad he still came out, as it has been highly fun to drive and very entertaining. As we check back in on Tyler Millette, he's gotten back within about 3 seconds of Baer, but just maybe not enough time left at number 27 to make any sort of big effort here or any final push. For those tuning in here tonight to watch the season finale of the All-Star Intermission, thank you. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, as in the near future, we'll be posting some real-life racing shenanigans, as this weekend I will be racing the 24 Hours of Lemons at Road Atlanta. And that will be hopefully not quite as exciting as this race is tonight, but still a lot of fun to watch our highlight videos that'll be posted here on the Team Goon Squad YouTube channel. Also, check us out at TeamGoonSquad.com or on Facebook. We love to keep track of everybody. Tell us how your day's going and tell us who you're cheering on, so we make sure they get plenty of TV time. The white flag is out for Alex Penn. And he is well on his way to victory, as I believe if Penn wins here today, he will wrap up the season as your All-Star Intermission champion. And yes, the checkered flag will fly for the young road racing extraordinaire. Alex Penn will bring it home in the top spot. That number 3 machine, Praising Dale. A fantastic run from the number 3 of Alex Penn. Matt Baer looking good to bring home a second as he rides the inside line, it looks like, into turn 1. But a fantastic race from all parties involved. A lot of fun to watch here. We're trying to see if we can get a hold of Matt Baer as well. And get these drivers up here into victory lane to celebrate, as it is Alex Penn, Matt Baer, Tyler Millette bringing it home here today. Penn gonna do a dirt burnout. Don't see that often. But Alex Penn gonna burn it down here today. as we try and get all of our drivers up here in the waiting room. Still waiting on Tyler Millette to make his way up here in the booth. And then Alex Penn gets punted by his friend Gareth McAllister. And both drivers going to celebrate in style, really enjoying this season for what it is. A lot of fun for guys to come out, have a blast together, and just enjoy some good old-fashioned racing. Up first, we're going to have Tyler Millette in the Cannabos back number 27 join us. Tyler, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Tyler, I'm not quite sure what you were expecting coming to the All-Star Intermission, but did it live up to your excitement?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I never got to race with these guys before, and let me tell you, these are some good guys to race with right here.
Yeah, a lot of clean drivers. A lot of these guys run the Pro-Am and the Pro Series and Street Stocks. I know we've had the pleasure of broadcasting you in some Cup cars. I think maybe some trucks as well, and always great seeing to come out here. Now, did you enjoy the 3-week schedule to kind of have fun and try something different, or was it a little bit stressful for you?
It was different, but I really, really enjoyed it. Like, that's probably the most fun I've had slinging something like that around the track in a while.
Well, it looked like a lot of fun. You had a lot of fans cheering you on here today. Tyler, before I let you go, sign off and celebrate, who would you like to give a shout-out to or thank any sponsors for helping you out in this All-Star Intermission Series?
Friends, my family, my fiance, of course. I'd like to give a big shout to my sponsor, Cannabos. Couldn't do this without their help, and everybody at the shoe crew cheering us on.
Awesome. Millette, great time seeing you as always, man. We look forward to your success and everything we broadcast you're in, and thank you for joining us. It was a lot of fun to watch.
You too. Thank you, James.
Thank you, sir. And let's see, up next, it's going to be Matt Baer in the 919 machine. Matt finishing second here today, up 3 spots. I know you're an extremely talented street stock racer, but how does that translate into what you were thrown into here today?
It doesn't at all, man. It was a lot of fun, though. I mean, I got some good practice in before we started. Got a general good little idea of what I need to do for the jumps and everything. But it was a whole bunch of fun, though.
Yeah, the intent was to give all of our regular scheduled knuckleheads a chance to just kind of have some fun and bang doors with people they don't normally get to. So it looked like a lot of fun. Out of the 3 races we did, I don't think you made Road Atlanta. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it was Phoenix and this race, correct?
Yeah.
Now, which of those 2 races did you enjoy the most?
Oh, without a doubt, this one.
Oh, good. Taking big old heavy machines where they had no business. How did the track feel as the night progressed? Now, granted, we're all running the same fixed setup. Did it get a little bit easier once it slicked up, or was it a little bit tougher to hold on to that 919 machine?
I thought it was fairly okay, especially when we had the big winding corners going up the hill on the back. It was holding fairly good. I was able to keep it full throttle in third and then shift up to fourth at the very top of the hill to get a little extra boost. But I enjoyed it personally. I mean, I even though it was hard, yeah, but it was a whole bunch of fun.
Well, Matt, it's always a lot of fun watching your race and everything you do. Doesn't matter if it's one of my leagues or not. You're always very talented and having a great job out there. Thank you for joining us in the Pro Series. Thank you for joining us here for the Intermission Series. A lot of fun watching your race, man. Before I let you sign off, who would you like to give a shout out to that may be cheering you on from across the world?
Let's see. I know my daughter was watching it, so we'll say what's up to her, even though she should be in bed by now. Just all the other guys that I run with. I mean, I just like having fun racing. Granted, I like to win more, but I enjoy having a good time.
Well, awesome, Matt. Congratulations on a second here today. A lot of fun watching your race, and hope to see you do well in the future, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
And then up next, the man of the hour, Alex Penn, the road racing phenomenon, brings it home in the total lack of effort painted number 3 machine, winning the All-Star Intermission Championship as well. Penn, you've got to be pumped right now, my friend.
Yeah, I'm really stoked, especially going into tonight, knowing I was going to have a little bit of competition. I was really expecting for James to give me a run for my money there in the future races too.
Now, we know you guys were talking throughout the race. Did Silvers go off track and maybe get towed back to pit road, or what happened there? Do you have any idea?
Due to the lack of the mirrors in the car, I don't really know what happened behind me, but all I was really able to get from the situation was he ended up on his roof.
Oh, he's on the roof. A terrible tragedy. Now, I mean, we've raced three different races. We had the Phoenix Rally Course, we had Road Atlanta Short with the custom Joker Lap, and then tonight we were at pretty much the motocross track here at Wild West Motorsports. Which course do you think was the most challenging, and which one did you find the most fun during this intermission series?
Most challenging, I think I would have to go with the Phoenix Rallycross, because having to work around the jumps and the different surfaces, especially, was definitely a tough challenge. But most fun, I think I would have to go with Wild West tonight, because it was a lot of fun trying to handle the giant jumps and going into corners with them.
Now, was there a section of this track that you were particularly fond of, or one that was least fond of, or was it just pretty all right all the way around?
I think I liked the final corner quite a lot, because coming off the couple of jumps into that turn was a lot of fun to try and kick out the back end and push it through that corner.
Well, Alex, a fantastic job locking up the season in style. I know you've got friends and family from across the world that tuned in. The Penn family, always great supporting each other. Who would you like to give a shout out to, say thanks to, that helped you out running this absolutely wild All-Star Intermission season?
I'd definitely like to thank you for putting this on for all of us. My parents, my brother, Supercharged, who sponsor me down in the ARCA League as well, and Skip Barber Racing School for teaching me what I know.
You heard it here first. If you want to take dirt oval cars around a motocross track, Skip Barber School can help you out. Alex, great job, my friend. Looking forward to seeing your continued success in everything you do, and just thank you for joining us. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Thank you.
And that was Alex Penn, the road racing phenomenon, bringing it home here today at the Wild West Motorsports Park and locking up this season here today as we get the results update on the top of your screen. It's Alex Penn, Matt Baer, Tyler Millette, Gareth McAllister, and SoundCloud Silver is your top five here tonight. As always, thank you to our fans, friends, and family from across the world that tune in week in and week out, supporting your favorite racers, your broadcast crew. Doesn't matter what we're covering, you guys are there for us and spending an hour or longer of your time with us on a weeknight. We couldn't do without you. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. I will not be in the broadcast booth this weekend as I will be in a car myself, but we'll have Mason Heimbach covering all the regular scheduled action that you've come to expect, and we wish you all a happy and safe weekend. Have a great one, everybody.